Okay, as I promised you yesterday, here's a little spot suspicious observers Ben Davidson did on the planetary canary, the Atlantic Ridge system, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which runs all the way from the North Pole to the South Pole, being a significant factor.
Let's check in on the planetary canary known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. 30 days of quakes finds only 9 on the ridge when we zoom in, and they are grouped by date. Early August with the high watch index, the 14th in the middle of our last quake watch, and over the last 2 days as we peak in this quake watch today and tomorrow. I'll take the lower magnitude quake signals if the big ones stay away. What do you think? Anyway, non-standard physics throw it.
Yeah, I watch him every day, but he puts out some good stuff, and some of the shots he has are pretty cool, especially the Earthwatch shots and Sunwatch shots. But I mean, I don't know if you've watched his channel, but if you do notice, check out all those angular patterns in the wind he shows with the lows and highs. That's not normal, folks. And when do we ever have convergence zones? That's all due to the electromagnetic effects of this incoming brown dwarf star on our planet. You don't have square wind patterns and whatnot. And also, the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, the air masses have been mixing for a while, and that didn't happen before this brown dwarf was coming in. There was a well-defined equatorial band going from, I think, west to east in the northern hemisphere, and no, east to west rather, in the northern hemisphere, and west to east, strong bands of wind, and they were always kept separated, but they've been mixing for the last at least a year. Okay, here we are at Tierra del Sol. Let's do a refresh. Still catching that orange ball being illuminated by the moon. In my opinion, the Nibiru sun being illuminated by the moon. That could be showing that real big hole, or it's just the way the illumination projection's going. False dawn starting here. Doesn't look to be as quite as pronounced, maybe with the moon involved, because we have a full moon. That's why I say it's quite possible that this full moon could be illuminating this Nibiru sun. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'm gonna go run through the rest of the Skycam vids, see what we got. Savannah Skies, Australia. There's the full moon. And when there's summary, single column image, there's the Nibiru sun showing up south of the equator, southern hemisphere, below the sun. Getting some nice shots in West Virginia, Mountain Meadows, sunrise. Here comes the orange ball down through the frames, running every 10 minutes. Okay, so here's the first one. That's at Atlantic Standard Time. So, anyway, it's near sunrise. I don't have to go and figure that out again. The orange ball showing up quite well projected and very orange and distinct. Giving it the roll through. Here comes the spot. Like there it might be a gain. There's the spot. Maybe again. So maybe like every 20 minutes the thing rolls around. or rolls backwards. I think it's rolling forwards in the east maybe, and backwards in the west. Something like that. So it's got a pretty quick rotation, it would seem, perhaps. I could be wrong on that. I'm just making this observation now. As far as the 20 minutes goes, making it all the way around, that's not definitive yet. It might be slower than that. It's got to be slower than that. So we're not probably seeing the same spot here. Anyway, we'll go somewhere else. We don't have a single column on this camera. Naples, Italy, not catching any orange balls or wing shaped Nibiru sun, but catching a lot of debris around the sun. Starting to really think that that's the debris field and maybe perhaps parts of the Nibiru system as well. See how they move around irregularly? They're not clouds. Here's Little Rock, Arkansas. Cloudy out there today. I'm not catching anything on these two images, but we got a nice single column image yesterday around the noon, 1 o'clock hour. Nibiru sun above the sun. Here we get near sunrise in Westport, Connecticut, Rolnick Observatory. Got the nice image of the orange ball rolling through. Double image, in fact. Can pick up some of the features there, spots. And make sure you click that broken box down here on your YouTube so you can watch these things full screen. That's how I'm recording them. And you'll get a little better viewing image. Okay, here's Cal Poly out in California. Getting the false dawn image even though the moon's still up and it's setting in the west. West-southwest. Dawn out there is until after 6, maybe around 6:15, something like that. So we're getting the flash at 5:28. Let's see how we're gonna go back and look at Tierra del Sol in a minute. See how the flashy false dawn thing corresponds to some of the earlier vids. Okay, here's Honolulu, or near Hawaii. It's Hawaii rather. I pulled up Honolulu in the stellarium just to see where the moon was. So we're getting like what appears to be sort of, it's not a false dawn because obviously dawn's not for a while out there. But we're getting the same effect as we get with the false dawn images in California and other parts. We saw a good one in Hong Kong yesterday. So anyway, here's Hawaii. This is obviously the moon. It's getting flashed out by this when this Nibiru sun gets illuminated, which is happening in California right now, about 3 hours time zone wise to the east of Hawaii. Here's Hawaii. See, I got Honolulu pulled up. That was the easiest one to find. Here's the horizon. Here's the ecliptic plane. Here's the moon. So that's the moon being illuminated by that false dawn phenomena we've been following in California. Excuse me. There's Sierra Remote in Albury. I think I looked this up yesterday on Google. It's up there near Sacramento, to the west, east of Sacramento. We're getting some of the remnants of the moon going down, illuminating what I believe is the Nibiru sun. You can see the dots and stuff in there, or the spots, if you will. This is a new camera that just came online today. It looks like I'm having trouble figuring out exactly where it is, but judging by, this is 2 p.m., give or take an hour. So it's probably over there close to Europe, Mediterranean or something. Got the bees. I don't know if you can see them here, but if you blow up the screen, got a lot of magnetic field lines showing. So that would suggest to me that maybe it's up near the Azores or somewhere further north. Getting quite a few magnetic disturbances. They're showing up here as well. I'll try to figure out where this is, but I don't want to spend too much time doing that right now. We got some kind of an image ghosting through here, showing up. Looks sort of like a winged disc. It's also showing up here, inverted fashion. So we'll keep watching this camera. Okay, here's Pine Mountain. That's out California, a little bit north of LA. And remember we were catching the false dawn up there quite distinctly. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, this looks like it's like 10 minutes later. Let me stop it. We'll go up and see Tierra del Sol. We don't have like 4 minutes left here. But remember it used to pop like around 5:02. Then by 5:12 it was starting to get pretty bright. Let me shrink it down. Okay. You see here, well, we got clouds, but that should even reflect the light more. 5:23, we're starting to catch some, but I think by then, if you recall, the sky was really lit to 5:22, 5:23. Now it's not happening until 5:33, and it's not nearly as bright as it was. And then 5:43, we're really catching it. So then 4:53 goes back down. Well, that's the earlier image. So 5:43. Let's stop it and go to Tierra del Sol. Okay, here's Tierra del Sol. We got like 3 minutes left. I'll probably make another vid here soon. We got the orange ball being illuminated by the moon, the mirror of the sun, in my opinion. Here, let's stop it and watch these times. Okay, 4:52. If you recall, we weren't getting a whole lot of light. There's the Nibiru sun. Looks like it's sitting a little higher to me. Here's the moon still setting, so that's illuminating. Full moon still setting, that's illuminating the sky. Okay, 5:02. Remember 5:02? Of course, the moon could be having some effect on this, being that the sky's already somewhat illuminated. But we were starting to see some type of a flash, a little bit of a flash. The sky starting to light up from east to this object. Then by 5:12, if you recall, it was starting to get pretty bright. 5:23, 5:22, a whole lot brighter. See, now it's not flashing off here like it was before. It's staying mostly in the east, so this thing's obviously moved to a different angle because we're not getting the same effects. But now it flashes at 5:42, and I think by then it was diminishing. So the moon could be having some effect on it. But I would suggest to me that this thing is moved at least 10 or 20 minutes time zone wise, away from the sun. It's heading, maybe not, juxtaposed here. It's really hard to say. I'm going to have to try to go back and look at those earlier vids, but I just see that's being very problematic as far as rebroadcasting them anyway. So, I don't know. We'll just keep an eye on this and see how this progresses. Thanks for watching. I wish some other people were covering this thing. I mean, after all, it's the most huge event to happen to our planet in the last 3,600 years. Last time it's passed through, the Sumerians and the Egyptians and other cultures, ancient cultures, recorded it and named it the Destroyer. But for some strange reason, nobody's really covering this thing, even though it's fixing to run amok through our inner solar system once again and destroy the Earth, in my opinion. Love you. Bye.